Hello, lovely eggs. It is the new year. How weird is that? I am coming to you makeupless and with very flat hair because today is not about appearances. Today is about organising my life. I am in desperate need of just having a declutter, detox, refresh, whatever word you would like to use for your life. So I think that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna talk you through 10 steps that I would use to be arguably mindful or be more mindful of my space and my life. And I'm going to take you with me as I implement all of those things. And these are things I hope not just to do now, but I hope to make habits. And kind of half of them already are habits. They're things I naturally are drawn to when I'm feeling disorganized or feeling chaotic in my head and in my space. But then some of them I'm not that good at yet. So hopefully things will get better through implementing these. The first thing I do if I'm feeling like I need a bit of a refresh and I'm feeling overwhelmed is to tidy my space. Sometimes I can get really carried away in this, so I try and now set a timer. So even just like 10 minutes or 15 minutes of tidying in one particular area can completely change the look and the nature of the space. And then if you have time, you can give it a once over with the Hoover, or you can change your sheets or whatever, but yeah, that kind of timer limit is probably best. I need to do my room. My room is a bit of a mess. So I will set a timer. I'm thinking 15 minutes and I'll get on with that now. Unfortunately, I have to leave these guys up because they help me with the lights for Moonuri, but other than that, let's sort this state out. All the socks. That was my song entitled Look at All the Socks. I hope you enjoy. Okay, we are on 11 minutes. So my timer just went off. I've done quite a lot. I've unpacked my suitcase from when I went home for Christmas. I've cleared a lot of things. There's still odd bits and bobs, but it feels a lot better. So along with this, there's a couple of other things. So yeah, I emptied my suitcase, I filled a whole laundry basket up with stuff, I emptied some laundry that was clean, and I've put my sheets onto dry. Because I think the next thing you can do as a useful New Year's habit is change your linen. So change your bedding and change your towels. Sounds silly, but I think I change my linen maybe half as often as I actually think I do, just because time flies. So when you remember, it's best to do it. I'd say you're probably meant to do it once a week. I do not change my bedding that much and probably never will, but I change my towels once a week. Okay, let me take you back to my Trello board full of adventure. Let's find out what we're doing next. So now everything's tidy, I'm gonna change my bedding. Here we go. So because I've been staying at my boyfriend's house, I hadn't actually noticed this yet, but look what I did to my pillows on New Year's Eve. This is what I did to my bedding with my lipstick. That's gross. Okay, so it turns out that my laundry is still in the dryer, so I can't completely make my bed yet, but I'll do that in a second. And then I'll go change over my towels and then we move on to stage 3. The next step is to clear out the fridge. Because I don't know about you, but I end up leaving so much stuff in the fridge. I try to eat all my food, but it's those foods that go off very slowly, like cheese. I forget about cheese, I forget about pesto. So I'll quickly go into the fridge and see what needs to go. So my shelves are these top ones here, and actually it's pretty bare, but it's looking all right. I still have the spinach I need to eat. I've got some raspberries right here. Their best before date's tomorrow, so I need to get on with those. My parmesan is looking all right. There's more cheese, and I think that's okay as well. And half a lime from this morning. Okay, now I'm gonna do a food shop because I've cleaned the fridge out. I know what's in there, I know what I need, and I can do it online. Saving time. It's not ideal to have to shop online, but in my area, there really aren't any affordable ways to do shopping without having a car, so it's the best I've got. And unfortunately my really nice local veg place is shut for a little while longer, and I do need some fruit and veg like now. So I normally do Amazon because of the 2-hour window, but they always have loads of plastic, so I might try somewhere else. I've just got my laptop here, by the way. This is why I'm perched. I think I'm gonna try Ocado because I'm really into the idea of investing a bit more money in my food and then it being better for me. Sorry if you can hear people there, that's my housemates. Oh my god, I don't even know what I want. So exciting. I'll report back once I've done my shop. So as you may be able to tell, it's now dark. That shows the passing of time. I finished my Ocado order. I bought one of those big boxes of veg and then a couple of other little bits and some bread. I did some general groceries and fresh food, and that was very good. Also, my sheets are finally out of the wash. Hello. I set this angle up for looking at my phone, not on my face. So finally, before the light goes completely in, I think I have about half an hour, I'm going to show you on my self-lighting device, aka my phone, how I curate my social media, because I think that's one of the best things you can do in 2019. So I think one of the first things you should consider is your Instagram. I'm very happy with my Instagram, but lots of people are not. I currently follow 562 people. That's quite a few. I wonder if I can get that down to 200 or potentially 100. I like following things that inspire me and following my friends. So if you don't fit into those two categories, you're gone. I'm also going to go through my Twitter. This one's going to be very, very firm. I used to follow just 100 people. I'm going to attempt to go under 100 and mute loads of words because there's loads of stuff I just don't want to see. I should also say I'm following a whole 337 people on here. That is way too many when I want to be following under 100. Okay, let's give this a go. So as you may be able to tell, it is the next day. I made progress. I spent 2 hours clearing out all of my social media accounts. So let me show you that quickly. So for those of you who are wanting to clear out your social media as well, which I think is one of the best mindful habit things you can do for the new year, I would say the best way of doing it is 1, does this inspire you? And 2, does this make you feel bad? So inspire is like the high end of yes, is like positive feelings, motivation, great, cool, good. And then making you sad is like the lower end of this spectrum. So I think you have to look at stuff and work out where it falls. So for me personally, something that makes me unfollow someone is if they've started making me feel guilty or negative or shameful in any way or sense. And that can also be a really temporary feeling that might only last for 2 months. And then I might be able to refollow them again, and that's great. And then on the higher end is someone that maybe really inspires me in my work, in fashion and style, in interiors, but doesn't make me feel a negative feeling alongside that. Oh, I'm a real failure because they're doing so well. If I feel that, generally I'll unfollow. But it's that feeling of yeah, you make me want to do better in a positive way, and I love looking at your images and I love seeing your tweets. You're so funny. That, I keep them. So I work out where it is on that spectrum, and then I try and just get my numbers as low as possible on the follow account while still having a diverse enough feed. However, there are always those people who you can't unfollow for whatever reason, because they're family, or they're gonna be really hurt and you have to see them every day, or they're the sort of person that you feel like you want to stay in contact with and you want to be able to contact, but they're not, what they're tweeting at the moment is not your cup of tea. That is the mute button. The mute button's your friend. On Twitter, you can mute words as well, or phrases. I've muted Kanye West. If I want to catch up, I'll ask a friend or I'll go on the Twitter moment or whatever. I just don't need to see it constantly in my timeline. So let me show you where I got to. I remember telling you how many I followed yesterday, but I can't remember right now. But on Twitter, I am down to 165, which I'm so pleased with. 165 is the perfect number for me. Ideally, it would be around 100, but there's so many people I really like. So on Instagram, I was following around 580 people, and I've managed to cull that down to 249, which I'm so happy about. Thrilled that I managed to cut that down so much, because there were so many people I was following, and because of the way the algorithm works, you just don't see people that often. So I'd just forgotten I even followed them, or that I'd found them. I'd not liked their posts twice in a row, and suddenly they vanished from my timeline completely. Now we're going to go through and clear out the apps. That's going to be much harder because they're a state at the moment. Let me show you. So this is my front page, which is really nice. That's absolutely fine. And then there's this mess of a second page, and then 2 extra things on the third. So it's just not looking very good. It's just not clean and tidy at all. It's a real mess, and I just need to go through, delete the apps. And then after I've deleted these, I'm gonna download some news apps. Ooh, news apps. Right, I'm screen recording. Let's have a look. Let's Be Real, Love Island app. I'm not using you. Reward style, I need that for work. That can go in the work folder. Firevan. Viavan? It's kind of a tool, isn't it? Let's move it to the tools. I really enjoy CoStar. It's really silly, but I really enjoy it. So that's going in extras. Depop, I don't really understand, but I'm trying to start using. So that's kind of tools, I guess. Color Story is such a good app for editing stuff. That goes in work. Oh no, I have a pics and vid section. And then Trello is in work because that's super important. In fact, I'm going to drag that to the front of work. Dice, that's a tool. If you don't know, Dice is a really great ticketing app. Okay, I think that's all my apps organised. Oh my god, wow. I think Blog Lovin's going in social as well. Amazing, I have room for one news app. Let's go and have a look at some for now. I've got Instapaper, that was really good. But I need to be able to find the papers to put in Instapaper. Where readers become leaders. Less noise, more control. That sounds good. Clean reading experience. This is Feedly, by the way. Share and inspire. There's a night mode. I might just download that for the time being. Okay, this is too complicated. I'm gonna leave this and I'm gonna do the next step. It's so dark, I'm so sorry. Okay, so the second to last thing is to organise your life, aka your bullet journal, for me at least, which unfortunately is not really going to involve that much. I think I've learned over the past, year I've been doing this now, just gotta go for it. Just doing a title page that doesn't need any decoration at all if you don't want it to have. I'm just gonna write 2019 on top of that, and that is my marker of 2019. Let me move this up slightly because this is a bit too low. Kind of ugly 2019, just across my page. So tasty. I'm not gonna bother with my month calendar because that's all currently in my Trello and in my iCal, and I don't think there's actually any benefit to me writing that back down. But what I will do is for next week, which is the 7th, I think it starts. Yeah, the 7th to the 13th. Let me just write a nice little thing out for that. These are marble liners, by the way. I use them for all of any writing I do. They come in these really nice faded highlight colors. For the record, I don't do this anything like how you're meant to do it. So I start off by just writing down all of the objectives of the week. It's like a brain dump, just so I don't forget. Okay, so I've legit just written my week objectives, which are the videos I'm making next week. I haven't detailed anything else in there. And then left space for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and a little space for Saturday as well, because sometimes I do have to work on Saturdays. In fact, often I have to work on Saturdays. Sundays, not so much, but Saturdays, yeah. So you can see what I'm doing for the rest of my week. I've got a very busy week, but luckily I have a lovely editor and some people to help. So it should be fine, I think. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. Anyway, just looking at that stresses me out, so I'm just gonna shut that until Monday. It helps me so much to have my daily to-dos written in my bullet journal out in front of me constantly by my desk. So I can just glance over, be like, oh, okay, I can tick that off. And then I also like to time bound some of them as well if it's like an endless job like tidying. Oh, I forgot to mention it. One of the other things I think you should do at the beginning of the year to kind of set the tone for the rest of the year is to have a clear out. I was going to show you me clearing out my capsule wardrobe, but you've seen that 100 times before. I'll link some of the videos over there, and I've actually got a winter capsule wardrobe video coming out in a couple of days, I think. So you'll be able to see in a lot more detail what I cleared out, what I've kept in, and all of the stuff in between. So if you're wondering, clearing out is my number 8 or 9 on 100% things you should do because they're great. And so once you've got your to-do list in whatever form you please, but I would personally go for bullet journal, once everything's clear, once you've dealt with your social media, once you've done all of the steps that will make you more mindful in your habits in the new year, I would say your 10th one is to go and set your alarm so that you get up perfectly on time on Monday morning. If you can sort out your sleep schedule, that is just the best thing you can do, and the easiest way of doing that is by setting alarms. Annoying, they're dreadful, but they do work. If I were you, I would also leave the curtains slightly ajar so that you get some natural light in the morning. If you can afford a Lumi light, it saved my life, revolutionized everything about my sleep. So I would consider that if you can afford it, but they are expensive. Anyway, as you can tell, the light is going in. It's becoming harder to film. I can't even believe it. This is like, it is 3:40 and I think I'm ready for my new year. So I think that's it. Those are 10 mindful habits that you can bring into the new year, which I've also brought into the new year and you've watched me do them. Kind of a vlog, kind of not a vlog. I'm not sure what this video will turn out like. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you have any habits that you would recommend for the new year, pop them in the comments. I need more, I'm sure. And I will see you in a day or two for another video. God, how am I gonna find a thumbnail for this?